How did steam confuse Civil War naval strategy? Imagine a navy that suddenly moves faster, hits harder, and can operate without relying on the wind. That was the power of steamships during the Civil War, but it also brought a lot of confusion. Before steam, ships depended on sails, which meant their movement was unpredictable and tied to the weather. When steam-powered ships arrived, they could go anywhere, anytime, which was a huge advantage. But this new tech also made it tricky to figure out how best to use them. Neither side had clear rules or plans for these fast, armored vessels. The Union used steamships to blockade the Confederate coast and control rivers, but they didn't always know how to push their advantage further inland. They had the ships, but not the right strategies to use them effectively. Ironclad ships, which were covered in thick iron plates, made things even more complicated. These ships could withstand most artillery fire, making traditional naval tactics less effective. The Union built many of these ironclads to take key ports and control waterways. But they didn't have a solid plan for how to use these powerful ships beyond just holding captured areas. Sometimes they paused after winning a port, instead of pushing deeper into enemy territory. This hesitation was partly because they weren't sure how to combine their ironclads with land forces or shore defenses. On the Confederate side, things were even more confusing. They started with almost no navy and had to import steamships from abroad. They built ships like the CSS Alabama, which was a fast raider that attacked Union shipping. These ships challenged Union naval dominance but couldn't change the overall balance of power. The Confederacy relied heavily on shore forts to defend against Union ironclads, but they lacked the resources to build a large fleet of their own. This made their strategy more about defense than offense, which limited their options. Steam power changed naval warfare by making ships faster, more powerful, and more flexible. But it also created a lot of questions about how to use these ships best. The Union struggled to fully exploit their mobility and firepower for inland campaigns. They often focused on capturing ports and controlling rivers, but they hesitated to push further because they weren't sure how to coordinate their new ships with land forces. Meanwhile, the Confederacy depended on a few fast ships and shore defenses, which made their strategy more defensive and reactive. This mix of new technology and uncertain tactics slowed down the development of clear naval strategies during the war. It was a time of great change, but also a lot of confusion about how to best use these powerful new tools.